Good morning, everyone. The name of our experiment is the influence of temperature on dispersion of particles on liquid surfaces. The spontaneous dispersion of particles, when small particles come in contact with the liquid surface, immediately disperse violently, which can actually be seen in the kitchen if you drop a pinch of corn or wheat flour into a bowl or a cup of water. The effect seen in said cup/bowl is what we define as the spontaneous dispersion of particles. Our experiment shows the influence temperature of a liquid has over this violent dispersion. The reason this dispersion happens is because as the particle comes in contact with the surface of the water, it gets pulled by a capillary force vertically downward, and the particle is pulled below the surface. As the particle passes its equilibrium height, meaning the height which it sticks on the surface of the water, the direction of the force inverts, causing oscillation. These oscillations generate surface flow, moving nearby particles radially. As you increase the number of particles, the dispersion becomes more and more violent. The liquid temperatures chosen were room temperature at 24 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius. On both temperatures, we dropped 3 mm and 5.5 mm plastic beads. The dispersions were then videoed and studied frame by frame to measure and plot the displacements. The graphs show that as the particle size increases, the frequency of oscillation also increases. Similarly, as the water temperature increases, so does the frequency. The main reason for our experiment is because there has been a sharp decline in plant life in oceans due to reduced water quality. This relates to the experiment due to the dispersion of pollen when the plants are trying to reproduce at the surface of the water. The plants release their pollen to be dispersed at the surface, but if the surface is impure or unclean, the population struggles to reproduce. We introduced the temperature component to understand how rising ocean temperatures affect local plant life. As shown in the equations, as temperatures rise, viscosity decreases, hindering the dispersion of these particles. Thank you so much for listening in, and this has been the dispersion of particles on liquid surfaces.